Boy, tells it. It's such a stuff. See that day?
Yeah, guys, already? Yeah, good. I'd like to bring to order the Marion Town Council work session for Tuesday, September 30th, 2025 in the Worcester County Government Center Boardroom. Room number 1102. It's 501. I'd like you to take a look at your agenda. Number one, surplus personal property declaration and disposition. And Mr. Barfield, are you wanting to speak to that, or Maureen?
Sure.
Okay,
We got one, what we do every year, or every semester, is, a lot of the, older equipment, older, vehicles, chairs, et cetera, you know, from different departments, whatever. We'll, put them together and, we'll take pictures of them, send them to a surplus company, which is Gov Deals or whatever. I'll take the pictures and all. And, we'll send them to them and it goes over everywhere, all over everywhere, just like you do with the county or whatever. And this year, we went and looked, and the ones we've got is the old Ford truck, the 2012, it's at the sewer plant. That the new truck we just got is replaced. And it has a lot of electrical issues, brake issues and all that. And with what the truck is really valued at, it's cost more, all this equipment's cost more to fix it than really what it's worth. They also have one of the old police cars over there that is from the police department, they let it go out to they had originally given it to the fire company. And just sat there for, I don't know, probably 4 or 5, and it's keeping 6 years or longer. And never was used, that's a 2008. So until the sewer plant could get the new truck, they let them use this. But it had so many electrical issues with that, the brakes, the tires, the windows, etc. It wasn't even worth putting a dime in that. So that's on there. We have the old, for Public Works, the old Ring-O-Matic vac trailer that is either 2003 or 5. I've got all the paperwork. I have all the paperwork and titles. and
paperwork on
this stuff.
all of them. Okay.
Works. And it is just more right out. That's when we bought the new vac truck several years, about 2 years ago, to replace that. And we had the old Eagle Beaver recycle trailer that's a 1993. And last year when we carried it, get inspected. Well, really, he told us the year before that he did it. I'm gonna let it go of that. He inspected last year and he said, I will not inspect it anymore. Frame and all was just rusted out so bad on it. You can't do anything with it at all. So that's also gonna be in there. It's 40 chairs that are the old padded chairs that has been here for years that are over to, some of them were at the old firehouse, some were at the train station. It's 40 of them, the cushions are all tore in them in real bad shape. So I got how many it was yesterday, and they're gonna put that on there. And it's still several of them left that we're gonna use for the meeting, or at the train station when people rent it or whatever over there. And that's all that I have. It's on there at this present time. I don't know if Chief Andy or anything, all these to take and go.
We got some toner and this, you still inch 2 TV at the bottom for now.
Yeah, those are 44 metal cloth chairs. Yep, train station and old firehouse.
Okay, so that's all Public Works, but we have some admin here also.
Candace came up with, I think, 4 items there.
Okay.
The chair. And then there's 3 up there.
I don't know anything about this, the YouTube TV printer. How big? a Ford truck. Sorry, this is public works. The Crown didn't do the police. This will be sewer plant. That's the truck. Okay, the wheel balancing machine
Mhm.
and the, tire changer. The wheel balancing machine, you cannot get any parts, they don't have business as far as that machine there. And when, Moshe came here in February, that's one of the first things. But the covers for all the, working that in the budget for this year, and the tire balancing machine is so old, we won't even do the tires now for the bigger trucks and all that, the new vehicles has come out. So that's why that's on there, that's in public works, both of them. Candace has got to think about the metal chairs, where they came from.
Okay.
And what we're gonna do is take the plastic chairs, the newer ones that are at the old firehouse now.
Mhm.
I'm gonna take them over to the train station to make up for the 44 that we're taking out. 40. And they've been donated by, Mr. Randy and Miss Ann Coates years ago. So as long as they stay with the town, I'm sure they'll be with it. I don't know anything about that Turner, I don't know that Turner, I don't know anything about that. It must be maybe.
Okay, this put those on.
Yeah.
She put those.
She went through the office and that.
Nothing. Is that?
Is that all?
Fletch, is that all there or? Okay. I'll put on there which one was for what. Whatever. And what they do is they normally run this ad like 30, 45 days. We've had people come as far as Georgia, you know, with stuff that we've had. One of the old chip before we purchased the new one. The old chip we had, he came from, that far. Okay. But,
Georgia.
it's people all over, you know, because even though it might not be good to the town to use, they can use parts and other stuff and they get them at a halfway decent price and, you know.
So the mayor and council has to do a resolution to authorize the disposal. Also, selling can be by auctioning, destroying, etc. So your resolution is where you determine that it's surplus, obsolete, no longer necessary for public use, and by resolution authorize the sale of the person property around the terms and conditions the mayor and council deem appropriate in the best interest of the public. Most often, we use gov deals.
That's one we use, yep.
If I could add just a comment too, this is a relatively new process for us. It came up when we tried to get rid of the black-eyed Susan. And we found out we had a very comprehensive disposal process, a surplus and disposal process for real estate, public real estate, but not for personal public properties like the items you have in front of us now. It was lacking as far as being legally sufficient. And so this is a relatively new process. The one thing that's not reflected in the ordinance, but I don't think it's prohibited, is many places where I've been, when you have things that are necessary for public use, the council would make it available for employees to bid on them first before they would release it to the public.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Work for it to have an opportunity to bid on them themselves before it's released to the general public.
Okay, one person that has been on it for.
And I think it's got a car or a truck that someone is interested in.
Well, we gotta call it a car.
Okay.
It's the Crown did it.
Crown.
And if they want to take and, buy it, bid on it, first purchase it, or whatever, you know, and they know the issues with it.
Mhm.
And it's gonna take $1,000 to get it. But it's gotta pass real estate inspection. So that's totally up to them. If they want to bid on it.
Okay.
You know, in that bid, because I'm not sure, for as a person from the town, because they had first option to bid on it, correct? From outside from the public. Is that something that, we just take and look at the blue book value of,
Hmm,
and then the condition of the vehicle,
mhm.
and what the town is willing to take for it from a town employee, is that the fair?
Pretty much. I think the practice is you solicit a bid from anyone in town who would like to bid on any of these items.
Right,
If they turn in a quote or something, I'm interested in the TV or the vehicle or something
Mhm.
for a certain amount of money, then we would consider that.
right,
Like you say, we would match to the blue book or any
Right.
other standard of value,
correct,
just to make sure that we're not being
Because-
foolish about it.
I know that truck and that, far as the blue book value, they are not worth what that's gonna say.
Yeah.
For the mileage that is on them, it's not, gonna, it's not gonna give you no accurate.
Do
But
you know the mileage? Is it on here? Okay.
I'm sorry, I could, I'll get the mileage, the mileage and all will be, when it's put out, will be on there. Pictures of vehicles, the mileage,
The
and all
whole
that.
bit, okay.
They can come look at them at any time and see what they are. And the shape they're in. And all of these items will be put in a central location. Because now the recycle trailer, of course, we got that back in the chicken plant, we got the old vac trailer, that's back there. The Crown Vic is back there on one side of the sewer plant, and the truck is on the other. I'll have them all in one area to where they can see them all at one time, yeah.
Look at 'em.
And I would probably take and get the chairs. Probably have everything down in Public Works or somewhere like that, and we'll have the chairs in the same area where they can go see them,
Okay,
so they don't have to go out everywhere. If that suits you and the council.
okay.
You'll take pictures of everything when you.
Everything will have pictures taken of them, and they will be put right online, like we've always done. And it works out better like this with the gov deals than it does a regular public auction. Because we did it, the first one we did was a public auction. The gov deals does better because it goes out everywhere. And not just right here in the community.
Randy, do you shop gov deals to see about things that we might be looking for?
I have, but it seems like what I find on there is something that you can take parts off of and stuff like that. And it's not really feasible for the taxpayers' money to take and spend any money on something. And you really don't have anything. That's just me.
Okay. Council, any questions for Randy? Any questions? Margaret?
I understand that, in these sales of this nature, it's at the discretion when the bid comes back from the employee, it's at the discretion of whoever, and who is that person?
Probably the town manager.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Between the town manager and public works rep, we'll say, yeah, they have to go to the council, you know.
Or depending on the department, if it's police material, it would be.
If the Crown Vic, I'll go to Andy. Or go to Bobby, the other stuff go to us, chairs go to City Hall.
Understand that you understand is in consultation with the department head and the town manager.
Yeah, Rick will have the actual say, the town manager. That's the way it should be.
And again, that's if the council decides to make that option available to the employees. It's not spelled out in the ordinance, but it doesn't prohibit it either. It says you will decide the nature of the disposition. And if you want to make that as an option, that's your prerogative.
There really should be, you know. It really should,
Most of the places I've been do that.
right.
As I say, this is kind of new for us, be this organized with it.
Okay, thank you, Randy. Appreciate it.
Do you want a resolution to come back for your next meeting?
Yes. Is that okay? Resolution?
Sure. So that will be for the next town,
Town meeting,
2 weeks from tonight.
2 weeks, October 14th.
Yes.
Okay, number 2, update on Willow Street surplus property disposition. Rick?
Oh, can I say one thing?
Sure.
Go to the next. Oh, will you have all the specific before that is a resolution? Will we get that information before?
Yes, you will.
If Randy updates that chart, we can use that as an exhibit to the resolution.
With everything added that we talked about tonight.
What I'll do, these pictures will be taken of the vehicle. That vehicle will have the mileage, pictures taken of that, and the dash and all. Pictures of the inside of the vehicle. I might do a video of it. Picture your video, and then that way it's all right there together, and they would know if that's for this vehicle, it had a mileage, the year, and the make. And then we would see the pictures and all of that. It should be, and we've done it in the past, and I will see it's done this time. Anything that you know that's wrong with that, you need to put it in there. So that people have an idea. You don't want to shice for somebody.
Right,
You would be
yeah,
upfront,
that's what I'm asking.
transparent.
You should, like I know that the Ford truck has electrical issues and all. Also know the police car. It has a lot of electrical issues. It's got brake issues, needs tires. The windows won't go. You get them down, they won't go up. You really gotta, it's all in the electric. Could be in the computer. I don't know. I haven't gone that far into it. I'm not gonna bother, And as far as the recycle trailer, I can give them the year. Of course, you can't get no mileages, but I'll take pictures of that. I can give them the hours off of the back trailer the best I can. Off the Ring-O-Matic. I can give them the hours off of that. And then everybody that bids on them. It's just like when they go to an auction, it's up to you to know what you're buying when you buy it. But doing it like this, they have a chance to look and see, they'll know. And then it's up to them. So if somebody in-house wants to buy either one of them vehicles or whatever, they'll know what to get.
That's only fair. Okay. That answer everything?
Yeah,
Bria?
thank you.
Sure.
All right, Willow Street, Mr. Fowler.
Yes, it's a never-ending story.
Okay, yes, go ahead.
The last time it was on the table among you all, you voted to establish a deadline to go back to Dr. Blake and the African American Heritage Society and say that if you're interested in the property, and this was after several exchanges of information and emails, and we'd answered a list of questions that they had proposed, or posed rather, giving them a deadline to give us a firm offer or indication that they were ready to go forward. The deadline came and went. In the meantime, prior to the deadline, we were actually approached by legal counsel on their behalf, asking questions about the property, about the deal, and elaborating more on the questions that we had already answered. And I think right before, a day or two before the deadline, we reached out to them again, reminding them that the deadline was quickly approaching, where we were going to hear from them. Again, we didn't get any information, didn't hear anything at all. So normally, at that point, we would have just gone on and scheduled the demolition, because you all are rightly concerned that it's a health hazard the way it sits right now. Another thing happened while we were waiting to hear from the Heritage Society, and that is that we were approached by two gentlemen acting independently of each other who were interested in bidding on the property and saving the building. Each one likes the building, they've been in it, they understand what the challenge is, but they want to save the building. In progressing with the conversations with both of them, we found out that one was not financially prepared to make a firm offer yet. And he said that he would go to the effort of securing financing if it turns out that the other gentleman also planned to tear it down. Once gentleman A found out that gentleman B was going to save the building, he withdrew his interest. So right now, I haven't seen it. I'm told that there's an offer ready to be given to us by the second gentleman to purchase the building and restore it. What he wants to do is restore it to its original design with 3 units, use it as a bed and breakfast. And he also said that he would put a plaque on there with some sort of language representing the connection to the African American heritage, and it was an employment lodging for people way back, and that he would do something to try to memorialize, I guess, that history of the property. So we don't have anything on the table from the African American Heritage Society, although we were contacted again well after the deadline, basically repeating some of the same questions. And Maureen answered that email. But we have another fellow all ready to give us an envelope with an offer in it, depending on what you all choose to do.
And you say he has toured it?
You
Took him through it or let him in?
yes.
Okay.
They know who it was. They want to know who it was. They know.
I
who
keep
it was.
that private.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna
Yeah.
mention names yet, but
Yeah. Yeah.
That wasn't safe for nobody.
No. Mhm. Dan, can you tell us anything about the building that, in your opinion?
No, I
really-
It's in, if I'm
Mr. Lee, are you okay?
Tissue.
Tissues,
I just think this is-
tissues are back here.
Thank you. Thanks.
It should be, some documentations, in the office. Aaron has been there before. When Aaron was code enforcer, he's been in there and went through it. And he gave his recommendations on it once before.
That's what I thought.
I did reach out to Aaron, called him and asked him about any report, but was non-committal about where it was, if he had actually prepared one or not, so I'm not sure if there's anything in writing, but.
You know,
It was presented at a
he
meeting.
even,
It was.
it should it should have been, he even did it in an open meeting that should have been recorded. Of his findings of what he thought about it, because I carried him there and let him in. I can go back and look on my computer. And maybe he sent it to different ones. I can't promise that. But I do know I carried and let him in there. And this was back. This was back before I got the quotes about having it demolished. So it's been in the last year. Because those quotes now are probably 5 months old, the time goes by. But I do know he went there. And I do know he let the people know his findings on it.
I've been in there and it's, I mean, anybody taller than I am on the first floor, you gotta. You can't stand up straight in there. I mean, if you're 6 foot, you can't stand up in there. Okay, that was just when I toured it, when I was on council. Okay, council, how do you feel about,
Is the person on local?
yes.
I feel fine. If somebody wants to come in and restore that and put a plaque up, that sounds great.
okay,
I think we need to go back and check. I know probably our last discussion. And Aaron had talked about the building. I know a discussion was brought up about how the town was gonna have that property to be able to have the access to that pump station. And what was gonna be done about that? I think that really needs to be looked at. If somebody is going to try to restore that building, to put a bread and breakfast or whatever, to restore it, period. You're gonna have to know how they're going, where the parking is. Number one, that street's not a wide street. It shouldn't be parking on the street if
Amen.
they're gonna use it. It should be parking behind, but if they're gonna be parking behind, we need to look at it as the town having to get there if something goes wrong, or even checking on that station there. And once if it would have to be that driveway, they would have to make their own driveway. But it's really not much more property that's there.
yeah, we're gonna park.
That building, I will say probably a month ago, I even talked to the mayor about it. A week before, I had looked at it, but a week before, the awning that was there, it had fell completely down within a week. The wood is so rot. It looks like termites or something that's in there. I don't see how anybody could even use, I know some people use wood to repair houses and stuff, but that wood, that, and I know I said way back when, but really getting in and looking at it and peeping in the windows, it's really not safe. All that glass, it should been down probably a month ago. Um, I don't know about somebody, restoring it. I even reached out my own self to the African American Heritage Society. I asked for information that they probably emailed. I never received it, so I don't know what their plan was in between, but I think that building needs just to come in, whether somebody wants the property or not, but those are the two things I think we need to look at. How, as the town, we're gonna keep that for having access to that pump station and all. And if we would sell that to somebody, we need to figure that out, number one.
I think it's a right of way. Town has a pump station, can't force somebody from their property. The other thing I have a concern about is, say we do sell it to the guy for $10,000, whatever it is. And he says, yeah, I'm gonna restore it. And then 10 years go by.
Can't let it.
So something in the sale needs to stay. And you have 5 years, I think 5 is the standard number.
Actually, what we considered is he would need to take, once he takes possession, he would need to take immediate steps to shore it up, to keep it safe, so that it's not in danger of collapse. I would say he would have to get a building permit within 90 days and have any construction finished within a year or two. I think is that pretty standard with building permits?
6 months, and then it can be renewed for 6 months.
Yeah, we would need to have him agree that he would first remove the safety hazard immediately. And then second, conduct his project and have it completed within, I would say, no more than 2 years.
Because I know some of my constituents see that building as unique in town. That there isn't a structure quite like it. And that's why some people have reached out to me saying that they were interested in saving.
And we said right from the beginning, with anyone that's been involved, that we will either subdivide off our pump station with the access to the road or create a permanent easement so that we would always have access to it.
And that's what I was gonna say. I just don't know if there's enough land area to subdivide it off and still have a conforming plot remaining for the property. I don't know the answer because we never got that far, but those Rick exactly said your two options.
I don't want, if I could. I know I was told by the individuals that they want, if I understood them right, because I've heard it from different ones that has been there in the past over the years. They want to have like 3 separate apartments or whatever.
That's what it was originally.
Right, what they're doing, wanting to do. If that be the case, that means you're gonna have at least probably 2, if not 3 separate vehicles, if they've only got one piece. That property in the back, for the use that the town needs it for their lift station, if it ends up being, they have to come in there with a mobile truck crane to pull a pump or whatever in there, or any work that we have to do in there. It's not enough room in there for them to have that subdivided for them 3 vehicles back there. It's very little room. I don't know if y'all been back there lately and looked.
Yeah, I walk my dogs back there on every Saturday and Sunday morning.
So it's not a lot of room.
It's not, but there's certainly enough parking there. And in the base that you did need to bring a crane in there, you can say, hey, can you all move your cars over to the municipal lot? For how,
If
a few days that you,
I have trouble getting people moving cars off the street swing sweet. And I'm not trying to be out of the way. I'm just saying, I see all different scenarios. And if they want to save the building, I'm all for saving the building. But I do know there's individuals right there in that area, you will see the building gone. It should be gone. And I'm not gonna mention any names,
oh no,
but,
I have complaints from neighbors
neighbors that are there,
saying that kids are.
I go over there every weekend morning and I look around, and I took pictures of the car that was parked behind it this past Saturday and Sunday.
I'm for saving whatever
There's a car behind
either
it.
way they want
Yeah,
to do it. It's
people
nothing,
are going to start.
it's nothing to do with,
It's really
Go in
not
there
safe.
instead.
They're either walking
it's not
or
something.
Yeah, okay.
I don't care which way they go with it, either way. but I'm gonna tell you now, I don't care who says what, that building, that house, whatever you wanna call it, needs a tremendous amount of work to it. And unless a person is in business, or they need to have a crew there working on that. You're gonna have it done within a year, and then you have some more.
Well, I don't know anything about the man's, backup.
Right.
He is a building contractor and a carpenter, so he's certainly qualified to understand what he needs to do. Now, how he will go about it, I don't know.
I don't know I do know they went inside the building. But nobody looked underneath that building about the sills and all, that's something there.
What's in the flood zone also, isn't it? I mean, wouldn't they have to elevate it?
Didn't we understand it have to be raised?
That's what I thought was discussed the last,
Aaron went under the building because I remember him talking about looking under the building.
yeah, I know Aaron did, but I'm just telling you,
And it's,
Do you remember what he's,
yes, I do.
what he?
The sills were rotten. Just saying. Aaron's the one, it should be a report here on that. And I'll look and see if he did send something.
I think it's in one of the packets, like in our
It
package.
should be in, yes, absolutely,
In
and
one of our town.
it should be. And like I say, it's nothing, I want, if somebody wants to do something with it, it's fine with me, as long as they're not bothering that, there, we can get there, that lift station and all that, and it's all good with me.
Is this person a Maryland licensed contractor?
Yes, I assume so, because he's done it here in town.
We have a couple.
I don't know, do you know
What's that?
if he's licensed in Maryland?
That's kind
Let's
of.
see.
No, he's, okay.
Says he is, but I've been told a lot by some people, so I do know, I don't mean that wrong.
Do they have numbers on the bottom of their vehicle? For the
I
license?
really haven't looked at that.
That's the telltale sign.
I
There's
really,
no numbers there. They ain't licensed.
I really haven't looked, and I know that, but
I expect the points of view. Before I think we go forward, I think that there needs to be some flushing out. My concern, number first and foremost, if there's a possibility, keep that building based on content and the history of it. That to me becomes a strong consideration. I think that you have to be very pointed when that time comes of looking at what has been suggested, the alternatives, getting in there and what can or cannot be done in terms of access, what it would have. And I think we need to stretch on it. My concern is probably where you come back to, or somebody mentioned, where this individual, and I abhor talking about an individual, something like this nature, not know who it is, at this level now that we're getting ready to make this critical decision. Not that that's gonna have an effect on it, but I feel like I'm talking in the dark in my mind. Having said that, I think that, my question on top of 1 and 2 and 3 is number 3. What's the individual's ability to acquire access to do what it says that we know that needs to be done? He can't put a dollar figure on it, but we know it's enormous at this point. Does the individual have the capacity and capability to really, that's the bottom line, because and when it comes to the final decision on it, in my opinion, we're going to be asked to squeeze, and I'm prepared to lead that argument if it has to be an argument for squeezing to do it. But I want to get out there and move, and then this individual comes up with, he or she can raise the money or does not have the ability if we're going to do that. So that to me, Rick, whoever's presenting this, that's That's a major consideration. Because council is gonna have to step out there and place itself out there, and then the backlash is gonna be from the people who said, well, I told you so, or I didn't want to do it. Prepared for the fight, but I'm not prepared.
If I could help add this, it might help. Whichever way we go, we can't make a deal with any individual or party without a public hearing being held first. So I would suggest that any of those kind of concerns or questions would be raised and answered
Right.
during the public hearing process. It's still the council's vote whether to accept the bid or not to accept it. If you're not convinced that this is in the best interest of the town and the person's qualified, no reason why you can't just reject it and go ahead and tear it down.
Well, if that's the case, then I certainly believe we should give the hearing and move to answer your questions, my questions. And I don't know what other questions you have, Ann, but those questions need to be asked, because I'm not gonna get out there and put myself out there and get undercut, because that has been my history of dealing with certain people. So I'm not for that. I'm for the building, but that person, I don't think we should make them jump through the hoops that nobody else had to or would have to jump to. But they gotta come straight if they're gonna do it.
Right. The one thing I don't understand about all this, and I've thought about it a lot over the years, because this building has been brought up for the last 14 years,
Tell me about it.
11 years, 12 years.
Yes.
It's been brought up a long time.
Been rehashing it.
And you'll have one or two individuals within a year or so that spend the rest of it. Well, then they can't get the money.
Mhm.
And then next thing, a little while goes later, the town's gonna get it, whatever.
Mhm.
Then you have some more individuals come that's interested. And then you have the other people now that has come, then we're gonna go ahead, we've got the quotes to tear it down. It was all agreed upon, this is what's gonna happen. Now, all of a sudden, the other people was interested in it, and I totally understand. They had backed out. This gentleman has they've worked here in town for a long time, these people. They know what's been there, they know it is, and now all of a sudden they want to do something with it. I just don't understand how they keep, it's almost like they're just dragging it on, you know, all right. I should tore that building down if y'all gave me to go ahead, when the man offered us $60-some $100 and have it all done, said and cleaned up, and we'd be done with it.
Well, let me just say this, I don't wanna dig in the past, but since you raised how long it's been on, some of those same people who still 14 years ago was against that building and for trying to save it for historical purposes are the same people who are crying now. So I don't wanna let that go unnoticed. The same people, when we tried to get that building saved for historical purposes, were the same, probably, so I don't know the fact, so
Right.
since we now don't do names, you know, so I am not persuaded by the naysayers, if they're the same people. If they turn up to be the same people, then boom.
This guy here has never said anything about it. The other one who was really interested in it
Yes.
was the gentleman who lives right down from the town hall on Market Street.
Randy,
Randy, yeah.
we're not.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then,
But, yeah, it's nothing to do. Either way y'all want to go with it.
I do have a question about being in the floodplain. How high would you have to raise that building?
It could be 4 or 5 feet, it's just based on my general knowledge of floodplain requirements, which I think is at a 7.3. Not sure what the existing grade is, but it could be a 4 or 5 foot elevation, and there could be a 50% rule that may come into play as well. I have to research that, but
Well, I remember
Remember that?
way back
Yeah.
when Marty Sullivan was here, it was definitely a 50% rule.
Mhm.
I think Aaron mentioned it in his discussion as well, that it would have to be compliant.
So that means you can only pay a certain amount to put into it or buy it?
They'd have
Is
to
that
bring it up,
50%?
they'd have to bring it up to code.
They have to bring it up to code, okay.
That's a simple way of saying.
there could be variances subject to the Board of Zoning Appeals jurisdiction as well, dealing with it.
So if we demolish it, Rick, if we decide we're just gonna demolish it, do we still have to go to a hearing for that?
I don't think so.
It's only if
Only
somebody's
if you-
buying
only if
it?
you dispose of.
Only if we dispose
If
of
we
it.
demolish it, we've got a vacant piece of property there, it's still on our surplus list.
Right,
You can entertain offers, buy property as an empty lot, or
as an
you
empty
can
lot.
hold, whatever you want to do. But no, as the property owner, you have the right to tear it down tomorrow.
And it does have water and sewer.
It does.
Yes, it
Yeah, I
does.
guess it does, because it.
Yes, it does.
Where they had 3 apartments, because Rita lived in one of
So,
them.
so the question to that comes to mind, there's an ordinance out that every property that has a meter supposed to be paying that original price. 3 meters is on there. So what is happening as the town, or what would happen if somebody purchased that
It only has
property?
one meter, it has no meter, it's got 1 meter pit.
Or is it
It's
3
capable,
nine?
it's capable of having it. And then I've seen one sewer clean out coming from the building, so it tells me they had them tied in together. I have not been underneath the building and looked for all that. I didn't see much need in it, but
So,
I do know they got 1 meter pit and they do have 1 sewer clean out, so.
so the last time we talked, we said unless the, African American Heritage Society, they didn't want it, then we were going to demolish it. That was a conversation. But we've got some other types of plans coming into play. So council, what do you want to do here? Do you want to offer the guy time in a public hearing to come and talk to us and then make up your mind? Because I know we've been going over this since I was on council too, and Randy, you said 14 years. And it seems that a cycle keeps repeating itself.
If is that the 14 years counting when that pump station was put there?
I've been here
Yeah, when
11,
was that?
the pump, lift station was there then. And the reason I say 14 years, because when I first came here, they said this been going on for the last 3, 4, 5 years. So I'm just saying 14, might be longer than that. I don't know. But the lift station was there.
Do we know how long it's been since it was occupied?
I don't know, some people here might, I have no idea. It's the way the shape that's in, it's been a many a year ago.
That's probably been.
Probably back when they used to have the fertilizer place and all over there, when they, y'all, I'm sure y'all remember that.
20 years or.
Yeah, it's been a long, long time, man. It was been out of there and, you know,
So there's history there. That's the problem.
that's the thing, the history of it. And I don't blame anybody for wanting to do that, you know, to try to save it, but just, you know, things can only go so long and it's beyond as far as me saving, but that's me, that's not even on the agenda for that, so.
That would take lots of money looking at. No, because I looked this up. That is not in the historic district, I do not think. I was looking, if I looked it up the right way, it's that Willow Street is not a part of the historic district. It can be checked, but when I checked it, it was something new to me that I was looking at on the website, but, and I would have to go back and find the website that I looked, but, I was checking certain properties and that one, I don't think was in the historic district.
Dan, do you know?
Not without looking.
Without looking it up.
I'd have to check the map also.
So if you saw it, then the whole street was not
Right.
historic. Okay. So that's another, part of the puzzle. It's actually not historic district. So we have to look that up. Okay, so where do you want to go from here? Do you want to allow the gentleman to come for a meeting or a public hearing, or do you want to say, let's demolish it?
I think we've gone this far. I think we should hear from him and hear him out and make the decision. We've gone this far. We're at the precipice now. So, so let's take the next step, hear from him, that's due process. That's what I'm concerned about.
Well, he apparently has a letter in his hand ready. He wanted to give it to me last week. I said, no, we're gonna have this on our agenda tonight. We'll figure out which way the council wants to go with it, and I'll get back with him.
Well, he absolutely has to do this in a certain amount of time. It's just crazy.
I'm for hearing him out
Right
one
now.
last time.
Margaret, what do you
This
think?
would be it for me.
Okay, this will be it though, right?
Mhm.
Okay, I'll give him a call.
Okay, all right. Okay, number.
So I think we should put a timeline of when
Oh,
this
yeah, I
comes
think
back
so.
out on
Yeah,
this,
I agree.
a work session. And when we're gonna hear about this is,
I can send each of you a note with what his bid is, but we can't discuss it back and forth, of course. But I can at least inform you all as to what his offer looks like.
You can give them information.
Yeah.
Next week's a work session. Do you wanna,
be that soon.
could we do that the next work session? Get the information and,
Cancel agreements if get that much.
And if you settle on a plan, then you've got the regular week, following week for an action item.
No, because you don't have, I mean, for the disposal of the property, you have to have a public hearing.
Oh, no, I mean to vote on the process going forward.
okay. This is it, I have. Great, all right, number 3, letter to State Department of Planning, Secretary Florida, Mr. Lee, you wanted to talk about that, and, this is a letter. What is the focus of the letter and
Well,
why?
everybody has seen the letter, let me give you what the focus is and my recommendation. To read this in the record since everybody has seen the letter. My recommendation to re-invite Secretary Rebecca Spore, Secretary of Planning and Purpose, to request the collective support of the mayor and council to reissue an invitation to Secretary Flora, Maryland Department of Planning, to visit Snow Hill and speak at the launch of the 2025 comprehensive plan. Background: on August 30th, 2025, I extended a personal invitation to Secretary Flora to participate in Snow Hill comprehensive plan kickoff. This is relevant to my district. On September 3rd, 2025, Secretary Flora responded positively, stating, I would very much like to find a way to come support your launch of the comprehensive plan update. It will also be a great opportunity to learn more about your community and the work that you're doing. Out of caution, not to overlap individual authority, I subsequently withdrew the request pending collaborative council consideration. Rationale for collective intervention. Secretary Paul is willing, she has already expressed interest and is prepared to integrate Maryland's new sustainable growth principles into our planning process. Credibility with the community, past plans, the 2010 and 2015 left some residents skeptical and disengaged, and having the state's top planning official present will reassure residents that the process will be credible, inclusive, and taken seriously. Reinforcing affiliated, unified leadership. A mayor and council invitation demonstrates unity, avoids any appearance of unilateral action, and signals a collective commitment to transparency and community engagement. Strategic benefits for Snow Hill. Position Snow Hill for greater visibility at the state level, strengthens opportunities for future funding, technical assistance, and partnerships. Alignment with current momentum, with Main Street designation pending, business corridors development underway, and mutual infrastructure projects in progress. Timing is ideal to showcase Snow Hill as a community preparing for sustainable growth and business development. To that end, I'm making a recommendation for discussion to re-invite the secretary to Snow Hill.
Council, what's your opinion on this?
Well, I think it's good for us to have that kind of exposure at that state level. The Secretary of Housing is willing to come here. Well, I think we should be more than gracious and host him. You use the exposure.
Council, what's your, what do you think?
I think it would be a great opportunity for the town to have something like this too. Yeah, I do have one question that's in your other letter. Why did you pick that date, November the 14th? Was that a specific?
I was trying to get in front of the Thanksgiving holiday. That's the whole rationale. I spoke to her office today. And if my memory serves, I can't believe I don't have any opinion for but I don't, my memory serves me correctly, I'm gonna call her tomorrow, depending on the outcome here today. It seems to me like something's ringing a bell that says the 20th and the 24th, I'm not sure, that we discussed today, but depending on what's decided here today, I'll tie that down tomorrow. I just don't remember. I don't have my pad, but I can't believe I left. You get 90, you can.
Are you looking for the meeting dates in November, Mr. Lee?
No, I'm first of all looking for, council to agree to invite her back collectively, and then update you in terms of where we're going. I'm pretty certain it's the 20th and 24th of November at 6:30. I've shared with them that it would have to be an evening meeting because we're looking for community participation in their meeting.
And I would just point out for the council, those aren't,
Mhm.
I'm looking at the November calendar, that's not any of your regular meeting dates. Your
No.
dates that month are,
No,
Where is this, I mean, have we, is there anything with the consultant and the planning commission involvement in this decision?
no, this is this was, Mayor, this was primarily geared to my district, a district function. But when I thought about it, can't do that. I couldn't, that's why.
Yeah, because when you approach, you have to come from your district.
Yes, when I,
When you approach someone like that, it's your district.
that's right, but I'm saying that when I looked at it and realized it, why I withdrew the recommendation. For all of the reasons stated here, it's not about East, Central District, it's about Snow Hill, little small Snow Hill. So that's, it's an opportunity that I saw.
And I'm just wondering about the planning commission and the consultant involvement in this.
I think maybe if Mr. Lee wants to expound upon what you would like the secretary to talk about, or what you wanted her to present, then we might be able to determine.
Everything that I've said to
Who
her
should be
in both those two levels. So I don't need to expand. Everything is in those two levels.
So are you, in one of these letters, you asked for sessions? Is that what I read?
It says community informational meetings. I'm just helping you guys try to organize it. Because the planning secretary is coming down. What do you want to happen when she comes here? Do you want her to do a presentation? Do you all?
Yeah, that's what I need to know.
For the community?
Is it gonna be for?
It's to motivate community to engage
Engagement.
in the process. Simple.
Like the importance of the comp plan, we need community participation.
And
That's
talking
what I'm-
about, she's got a new plan. She's got a planning and development had, it was 12 points, I think it was. To she has narrowed it to 8, okay? She wants to talk about that. This is an opportunity for her, to talk about her plan and for her to energize our community to get involved with and support the comprehensive plan. So
But you're
again,
not gonna hold separate sessions in the community to get feedback? Was that something I read? I don't know, maybe I'm looking at something else. I guess not.
Well, I think back to the mayor's question is the planning commission involvement, the consultants' involvement. From what Mr. Lee's describing, I think anybody and everybody could come to this meeting with the
Absolutely.
secretary being there.
Absolutely.
You can invite the planning commission to be there,
absolutely.
invite the community to be there. We have a
Absolutely.
state secretary coming down. If we have a consultant by that point, which I think we're hoping we do, the consultant could be there to hear a state secretary come to speak in Snow Hill.
Yes, because I don't want them to feel that we're going over their heads, because I want the citizens to, plan this, all of this, and I want them to feel a part of it in addition to us.
Who is them? I'm not sure.
The planning commission members, the residents of
This
Snow
is
Hill
inclusive of them.
who are on the planning. I just want to make sure that they're up to date on what we're presenting.
And that's the purpose of it, Mayor.
Because to me, I thought that they were the ones who planned this type of activity. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought they were the ones who, with the consultant and the planning, they would set up meetings with speakers, or they would set up with the community, and each district would be able to come together and talk about what they wanted to input. So I thought they were the ones who planned that.
I don't think you're wrong in that part of it. I think this is more of like a front end activity before it even gets kicked off.
Okay.
Once we start the process, planning commission, everybody knows, we've talked about it 100 times, planning commission runs the process. They do the community meetings, whatever public hearings they want to have,
Okay.
district by district.
Okay. That's
All
what I
of
just
that.
want to hear.
So I think it all meshes together, but what I'm hearing from this proposal is kind of, this is a front end idea. To invite someone from the state down.
So
And that does
where-
not take over
Take over any of
or be
their,
president of the
of
actual
their,
process once we
process.
start working on the comp plan.
okay.
Mr. Lee's nodding, I've seen heads nodding, so I
Mhm.
think everyone's on the same.
So where is this gonna be held?
Haven't decided that yet. Our service is gonna be in the community. We'll have to make some determination about
So will you work with Rick or someone to set this up if you wanna do this?
it.
Yeah,
I
it's
certainly
town
would-
property.
would Certainly want to work with Rick, and I certainly want to work with the plan. I want to talk to them about it.
Okay.
But
But setting up where the facility
it would be a form of the churches, be my recommendation.
Well, I'll say this, it's going to be a council meeting. It's basically gonna be a special council meeting because a quorum of you guys are gonna be there. So it needs to have all your normal capabilities.
Wait a minute.
But if we're not
Let me say-
speaking, if we're not, we could be in a forum. I've seen this on Berlin's website. I've seen it on, it was a little town near the bridge. Can't remember. But they announced when they would all be somewhere in a meeting.
So if the state was planning, state secretary was planning her own event and you all wanted to go and you sat and listened, that's fine. But what I think you guys are talking about is inviting the state secretary down to the town of Snow Hill at one of your meetings.
A community meeting, an event.
Yeah,
That's what she's being invited. She's not being invited to come to a council meeting.
And council doesn't want to speak at all. You guys just want to sit there and say nothing.
They can, are you telling us that,
I'm trying to figure out what you want so I can decide if you can be in compliance with the open meetings.
we argued this, I'm gonna say this up front. We had this argument before. We were hauled before the state on this. And they gave numerous analogies where council and how council could be involved and how they couldn't. I have checked this out. If we're having a community meeting, as long as we are not dealing with any policy issues, we're not tying this to the same thing we did at the church. This is no different.
Well, I
than
think
we did at the
it is
church.
probably different than the church because the church event, the church was hosting the event. So remember the one that went up to the Open Meetings Act Compliance Board, that was the church hosting the event. And
Are you against this?
no, not at all. I have no personal opinion about you guys doing it. It sounds great to have the secretary, but I've got to help you make sure you're in compliance with the Open Meeting Act. No, I have no personal viewpoints on it. It sounds like a great opportunity for you all. I'm just trying to help you get to where you need to go. So my questions are to help you. It's not, don't take them as I care one way or the other, but that
What I
Open
would
Meetings
ask
Act
you-
case is a
what I-
little different.
What I would ask you, when you get with Claire and myself, let's beat this out.
Okay,
Because this is done all the time over the cross on the bridge. This is done all the time in Montgomery County and Howard County.
but what's this though? I don't know what this.
Have elected officials and secretaries to come to a community meeting with the support of the elected officials in that jurisdiction.
And absolutely, like if your church or anybody's church wanted to invite them down to have a community, they would be running the meeting. People could
So
attend.
what we could do, let's solve it.
Yeah.
Let's solve it. If, as long as mayor and council opposed to having the meeting, the secretary come, we can go out to the zoo and get a gorilla to call it, okay? Now, what difference would it make? None whatsoever.
Can I offer a thought? Feeding off Maureen's original statement that led to this track. She had said it would need to be handled like a regular council meeting. I assume that means with publication and access, which I think you would probably want anyway. You would want to have the advance notice that the meeting will be held, time, location, and all that, because that's going to be part of getting the people to know about it and come. And if the second thing is to have it broadcast over Facebook or online somehow, then that also is a benefit, because again, it's access from the community to the meeting. So those are the only things that really make us comply. The access and the public notice, I would think that would feed into what you're looking for.
Absolutely. And what I will do is I will check with Carson. I've had conversation with him about this.
With who?
Carl,
Oh, Carl. Mhm.
to make certain that we are covered. Because as long as, what I need to be in a position for, and we can work that out, I know us. I want us to be in a position to seize upon the opportunity. This is a political opportunity to create leverage at the state level. That's the big piece out of this. And for us to say that we would turn down a secretary from coming into Snow Hill or work against that, I don't think we want to be in that position. So whatever it takes, I'm prepared to say this, whatever it takes to do this in a manner that it does not compromise your advice on solid ground, we'll work it out.
Yeah, I think council should probably decide whether you want it to be a mayor and council meeting, right? Because then we have certain requirements we have to make.
Right.
Or whether it's gonna be a community meeting hosted by someone in the community
Someone else.
where the
Sure.
secretary's coming. And then different requirements comply. So we know which lane. I'm just trying to find
Right,
out
just
which
which
lane, that way you
lane.
can make sure you stay in the lane that you want it to be in.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys decide the lane.
Council, which lane do you want? What do you think? She's given two scenarios. One's mayor and council meeting, or an event by another organization of some sort.
Yeah, but if you select the other organization, it's limiting us. See, just cut to the chase. We don't have the best image statewide for what's taking place around this and other matters. I want to solidify and show strength within this organization. So, Maureen, what we need to work out, I think where you're comfortable, that we're not in violation. But remember that we want to tie this as close to Snow Hill as we can, A. And B, we want to make certain that we're not sending any mixed messages to the secretary, because if we send her mixed messages, we're sending mixed messages to other secretaries, and the same image is going to prevail. So it would seem to me, in the best interest of Snow Hill, we as legislators want to get as close to the action as a council as we can. We don't want to do anything in violation.
What if you don't like this idea, you guys can throw it out. I'm just throwing out an idea to help.
Okay.
Because I hear what Mr. Lee's saying. So if you all invited her, say like mayor and council of Snow Hill are inviting you to come to Snow Hill. So it's a collective action, unity. We're inviting you, the secretary, down to discuss X. We talked about what X is. Here's our available meeting dates. We're going to invite everybody in the community, including our planning commission, to attend, and we're all excited for you to come to Snow Hill. Something to that effect. And I think it could be at a meeting that you guys hold, whether it's a different location than this room or train station or wherever, a different room that you guys choose to use. We'll just be compliant with the Open Meetings Act. We'll advertise it, we'll notify it. You guys are the hosts. The only thing on the agenda though is the secretary being there. And whatever, you know, Tom, you might
I'm
want
gonna
to do with
ask,
that.
I'm gonna ask council to give me some leeway in this. I'm asking for your support for this. And locking it in. I would lock it in tomorrow on a phone conversation, but saying to them, we want to work out to make certain that we're not in violation of doing this. Because the purpose of this and why I turned around, this is a community meeting. My conversation with the secretary has been the need to build relationships within communities. And that's where she is, that's where her head is. And so I need the leverage to work with the secretary's office and with Rick and the planner to make certain that we are doing this and not violating any statute. Let's say this, what I'm asking council again. Supposing we come to a discussion, Rick, and say, okay, it's too close. We can't make it. Then would the council, if it gets too close, be open to council, mayor and council endorsing this? We're talking straight up now with the secretary, with her people, and say, we may be on a slippery slope here. Let's not do that. So then if we're on a slippery slope, then their council and our council, where are we if the secretary, if the mayor and council says, we endorse secretary coming and thank her for coming to Snow Hill, meet with our community? Do you see what I'm saying? You can separate it if you have to completely.
If I could add to follow up on that, and I think this makes a stronger case. It provides a stronger comfort level for the secretary to come. Because we have had, as Maureen said, we've been over and over about who's responsible for the comprehensive plan process. If this could be a joint hosting by the mayor and council and the planning commission, I would be concerned about the secretary not thinking we're all on the same page, that the planning commission and the mayor and council are welcoming her to come and kind of set the stage for us in collaboration, understanding the planning commission starts the process. And we've talked about the public input, you know that, and taking it out in the community with public meetings in churches and halls and other places to get that maximum input. But if this context of this community meeting was seen as a collaborative effort by the mayor and council and the planning commission, who is ultimately responsible for conducting the process, the project, and by then we'll have the consultant on board.
Again, you know, and I've had this conversation with the mayor and council, what happened in 2010.
What did happen in 2010? I don't even know.
We'll just everybody make sure we're talking about inviting the secretary down and the plan for that. So
Okay, so let's just
not
cut that
veer
off. Let's just stop talking about that and decide on which situation council would like to have. We've heard Mr. Lee's side.
I think the venue is very important. I don't want to have a secretary from Maryland come down and stand in a little town annex over there by the river and have like 10 seats in there. Like, for me, I would like to put on a good show for her. And so I would be entertaining any kind of venue, probably something a little less sterile than this. I don't know if you wanted to have it in church or, you know, All Hallows,
High school.
maybe Watco, high school. Any of those, I think the venue is important for
I
the
agree.
perception that we get.
I totally.
Councilperson Fletcher, what do you
I was
think?
thinking high school, and then my mind went a little further down the street to Firehouse.
Oh,
I just think that might be a little further out of town though, but that would have been a good collaboration also with us as the town, with the firehouse that we could, but,
But you're changing.
and what is the format of this? Would they be able to speak? The the planning commission, state director? And
Would,
then questions, or, I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen.
I hope that we're prepared to see this through in discussion. Let me say this. The reason that I spoke to the secretary and to her staff about doing this is to get away from the stereotype and the misunderstanding of what has taken place. The planning commission and the consultant have a job to do. The community has a job to do, and if they don't do their job, then none of this works out as
so is this,
a collaboration.
can I interrupt for a moment? So is this what you're planning for the secretary to present to the community? How important it is? The kickoff of this, I mean, it would be talking about the comprehensive plan before the planning
Absolutely.
commission and all
yes.
come in,
Yes,
but also letting the community know how important it is and how much time may go into it. Cause if it's the one that I wasn't involved in it, but I think I went to a couple of meetings, but you really got to have, you really have to have something to bring the community in.
absolutely.
You-
Absolutely.
If you can't, and I don't know if you're just saying a meeting, if it's gonna bring them all in. Might be something fun before the
What's-
meeting happens or something
I hear you.
like that.
And who's gonna
That's
plan that? Us, or do we need help from the planning commission, or how's that gonna happen?
Listen, I started to bring it, and I'm so sorry I didn't. I have in my kitchen right now, folks, and I did not bring it. It's a thing this big that says and it's, part of it's in the comprehensive plan. We, the citizens of Snow Hill, and who we are and what we want. We will not have a comprehensive plan unless the citizens of Snow Hill recognize what, first and foremost, a comprehensive plan is. Number two, the value of it, and the fact that we will have this time around the support of the secretary, her educating not only in terms of the comprehensive plan, but her 8-point plan of where we're going, because they are working together. So the thought, and respectfully, I understand that people who have not dealt with this monster before.
Well, I really think that what you say in those pieces, I really think that, if this is a plan, an invite from mayor and council to town, I think the planning commission should definitely be there also. So
Absolutely.
because, and the reason why I'm saying that is because I don't think any of those people that are on planning commission actually know the work or have experienced that from the one before. So they should hear exactly what this secretary is saying also. So that, to me, it does look like a collaboration thing.
But, yeah, however, whatever
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
works to get to the end result. But I don't want to sacrifice purpose and end result. The purpose and end result is education, engagement. That's the purpose.
Right.
Not the planning commission and the consultant have the responsibility to do this. The responsibility is with this community. Because whatever comes out of the planning commission has to be okayed by the community and by this council.
Right.
Mr. Lee, if you like this sort of idea, like the mayor and council of Snow Hill, invite the public to a community meeting for engagement with and a presentation by Secretary of Planning Flora about the comprehensive plan. So you're inviting, title of a community meeting, highlighted to her, maybe you call it a meet and greet plus a presentation by, maybe there could be a little, like Margaret said, a little social part that goes along with it, where she can meet some of the community people and maybe they can speak to her if they don't want to in the public setting, but and at X location, wherever you guys think is important to do it in the community, your choice, and we'll make sure that we have the proper either recording or we do old fashioned minutes.
I respect venue, but we don't get the community into this room. The only way that we effectively have gotten community involved, when the previous mayor was here, we floated the idea of doing rotating council meetings in the different districts to get people in. In Snow Hill, if you want to get people involved and get connected, you gotta go into the community. It means going into our church. And that's where the energy is, and that's where the ears are, and that's where the greatest need is. So totally respect what you're saying, but to put it, we did, the only meeting that I have seen over the last 30 years that were held at the schools was around the Summerfield project, effective meeting. I mean, they got bodies out. We got bodies out. Okay, that was the only meeting. Mayor, I respectfully think that this being seen for what it is an educational tool, and it will dispel the myth of being against the planning commission, the consultant. No, we've got to respect what the role of the planning commission is, respect the role of the consultant, and we've got to encourage the participation of the community. Because if we had had it full-fledged in 2010, you would not have a comprehensive plan today that eliminated what the community asked for. And that was what the major complaints that people today recognize that took place, and that did take place. I like what you said. If you can repeat that and see if we can work with that.
Sometimes I say things that you ask me to repeat, I got it the same way. The mayor and council of Snow Hill invite the public to a community meeting to engage with Secretary of Planning Flora and presentation. Or you can say a meet and greet and presentation by the Secretary of Planning Flora. And we can title, the notice that way. You can invite the planning commission members as well. I think you just need to decide on suggested date, locations, and time. You guys decide the location, we'll figure out the logistics. And we could put the wording on paper on like an agenda sheet, and then you guys look at it and say, okay, yeah, that's what we're envisioning it to be. Of course,
Okay.
highlighting her being here. And that's the only thing that's gonna be is that community engagement.
Okay, council, what do you
She
think?
shows up, she gives her presentation, she does a Q&A. We pick the right venue. I don't see the problem here. We advertise it. Maybe put up some flyers around town, some people out there. All right. Last one.
Is that it? What do you want?
The position, the thing is left unchecked in that, the box is left unchecked in the, is
Land on that.
Well, when, where, you know, I think we need to, I think we need to decide if we wanna do it and then check off the pieces. If it doesn't work, I don't wanna do it. You know, I don't know any other way to do this.
That's like everybody's on board.
Well,
What's missing?
We just won't put on the best.
Yeah, just what do you want, where is it, what do you wanna do now?
I would suspect, knowing the system as I do, that the secretary is gonna turn to Michelle Koenig, our new representative in Salisbury for the Eastern Shore, to have her work with our staff to put this together and iron out the details and have the program planned. When Michelle came to visit,
this is good. I don't wanna turn this over. I wanna continue to work with the people on the secretary of staff that she has given me. the work. Now, she has given me the person,
okay, that's fine.
okay, to work with. They understand the challenge that we're working through, okay? So we don't wanna create anything, we wanna solve some problems.
Well, she's certainly responsible for choosing who's gonna help her get it together.
Okay. All right, so that's what, that's where we are, so I don't wanna turn this over to anybody, no.
So is that person, going, you took notes, you said, from a conversation that you left home? About your conversation with this person?
You know, I knew I was referring to and so forth.
Oh, I thought you said you had left something.
I left something, but it wasn't the person, you raised the question about the person that I'm working with.
Uh-huh,
That was not I don't believe
okay.
that.
So Rick, are you going to be working with this person? You and Eddie going to get together and work on this?
Well, I think the next thing is for council lead and go back to Secretary Flora and say the town would love to have her come and present, and we'll welcome her with open arms to a community meeting, for the purposes we've discussed, and see what she wants to do, what she needs in order to make it happen.
Okay, all right,
Copy our contact.
okay. All right, anything else on that? Okay, number 4. Mr. Lee wants to talk about the Open Meeting Act. As requested for the agenda.
You know, I believe that I sent you, the open meeting that dual conversation. And it was a strong math council, we talked about.
You did cite your concerns or you're wanting to talk about the strong mayor, but the connection to the open meetings, I wasn't real sure how, I mean, it looked to me like your email was all under the context of the Open Meetings Act and council ability to communicate, participate, which was partly reflected by the fact that we have this strong mayor system established by the charter.
I saw the way that, I see the way that it was here, but the Open Meetings Act is one piece of it, Title II, and I put in it purposely, and the strong mayor concept. Purposely, I did that. And I haven't talked to you at all, that's why I saw that, and I'm not sure that we can have this conversation piecemeal.
I don't have the answer to that.
that the matter then be brought back to the work session in total of what I have requested, because this is dealing with one thing, the Open Meetings Act.
Would it be appropriate for Councilman Lee to explain exactly what he's looking for in this conversation?
I think maybe he's struggling, or we're probably all are, it's like one topic's the Open Meetings Act. Form of government is certainly a different topic. One that we would have probably put on the agenda as, discussion of like charter sections, blah, 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 in the form of government. So if we want to have a discussion about that type of topic, I think Mr. Lee is right in suggesting we need to put it on differently on the agenda. But Mr. Lee, if it is more concerns about the Open Meetings Act and the difficulties you
I'm prepared
guys.
to discuss
Okay.
intelligently with the other part of my request not on the agenda.
Okay. I think, I mean, Mr. Lee is saying he thinks it's gotta be pushed, but I'm opening to hear anything else Mr. Lee has to say to help, but.
I'm not gonna piecemeal it.
Oh,
Maybe the thing to do is for you and Councilman Lee and me to have a conversation offline
yeah,
to kind of put some definition to this issue. So that we can have it.
That would be good, because those are two big topics.
yeah. And maybe we can think about what Mr. Lee might want to put in the packet as, backup material. Once, so maybe we can pick a time this week, Mr. Lee, where the three of us can talk about what you need.
Eating up my time. I don't know.
Or next week, whatever.
Whatever. I'll be in contact with you on it.
Okay.
If it helps your
Good.
schedule, I can tell you. that My wife is calling me off on the 40th wedding anniversary. Second honeymoon. And so if we wouldn't be off the hook for this week, unless you can be a Marine one of me.
We'll talk. about
Because we
it.
can also hit like how to make the agenda for the secretary too, if we want at the same time.
Okay. Good. All right, at this time, number 5 says we need to vote to convene in closed session to consider personnel matters, to discuss the appointment, employment, assignment, promotion, discipline, demotion, compensation, removal, resignation, or performance evaluation of appointees, employees, or officials over whom this public body has jurisdiction. So do I have a motion? Motion,
No motion.
Mr. Lee? Is there a motion? Ms. Fletcher? No motion? Okay. Oops, I guess. Parliamentarian, move on to the next matter, okay. All right, there's no motion, so we are still in regular session. So we do not have to reconvene. And we do not have to read the statement. So we go to public comment. Do we have any public comment? Seeing none, don't think we have any public comment here. No, okay, announcements from the council. Okay, we'll start with Councilperson Fletcher.
I don't have it in that, well, I do have an announcement, me and Randy, met briefly, 2 Thursdays ago. And I'll see him again on Friday morning. Talk about some things. I did see that, the ditch bank got cleared after forever by, behind the school. It's not completely, but it is to cross from the nursing home. Haven't seen any flooding. That's about all I have.
Okay, Councilperson Lumpkins.
Looks like we had a good ribbon cutting ceremony over at the police station. Wish I'd gotten invited. That would have been awesome, but it was a good turnout there from the town staff, so. I'm not sure I'll rate. I'll get an invite.
Okay, Councilperson Lee.
I would address my colleagues. I think that we are missing a golden opportunity. We are not utilizing the talent, the connections, the support of the people of this town. We're dead set against us. Seems like the kind of progress we all talk about. We aren't taking the steps to make that happen. When I was elected, one of the 4 things that I ran on as a council person, communications among the council. I campaigned on it and thought how unless we communicate with one another, recognizing all the protocol, the failure to communicate. That's where Snow Hill, I found, was when I came on the council, still is. There were some critical steps made, council, to begin a communication, and that door is still open. The Tri-County Council door is still open to begin, continue our discussion. I would like, with your consent, to go back and tell them, they have said in writing, they are willing, when council is ready, to continue. I'd like to know, are you willing to go ready, continue that communication? If we fail at this juncture where we are, to be able to, within the parameters of government, no restrictions, we move to the point, find out that we could come together through an entity such as Tri-County to begin to work. we need to get back to that. I would like to know if, with your permission, that I can call them and tell them we are ready to do that. I'd like to know your feelings on
Can I correct one thing? It's not the Tri-County Council, it's the Tri-Community.
it. Mediation, okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
I'm always open to mediation.
Okay,
Well, I have a question, Mayor. I'm asking.
now this is comments, this is
Okay, well,
questions.
okay, comment. Well,
This is a really announcements. is what
okay,
it
now,
is.
I want to announce that I'm going, who was it, Tri-County, what?
Tri-Community, Tri-Community Mediation.
Tri-Community Mediation, I'm gonna send them the signal that please contact us, we wanna go forward, and let me tell you, this will be the last time I will do it. Very
Noted.
last time.
Noted. Okay, I would like to, just go over a couple announcements. Fall pickup day is tomorrow. And we are having a consultant presentation on October sixth, 2025. And I think we have two consultants
Yes.
that we're looking at, and they're gonna give their presentations, so make sure everybody's there. We are looking at 7 p.m.
What-
That's the planning
What
commission.
is- I done missed it, I'm sorry. Would you repeat what you just said? Mayor,
The planning commission on October sixth, 2025, at 7 p.m. We'll have consultants who are presenting, and they will be the consultants for the comprehensive plan. We are also looking at information on Tree City USA. A citizen of Snow Hill has approached us, Greg Giesman, and he is going to be working with the state, from the state Maryland Forest Service, and he's going to be coming into the schools and promoting Arbor Day, and also wants the town to come along with that. And it's actually, Dan found in the charter, a pretty comprehensive, tree code information, chapter 178 in the code. We're looking at a promising candidate for economic development. The mayor's roundtable right now is, having safety for, bikes and scooters. One of the members from the roundtable is, having a video, a public announcement, service announcement, to be able to help get information out to kids about riding on their bikes and scooters. They are also working on encouraging voter participation, in elections with Snow Hill Rotary. And they're also looking at emergency plans for the town. And also they're applying for a 250 Maryland Citizens Academy grant. So we have a lot going on. I also wanted to give council,
251.
250, that's this celebration next year, a 250-year anniversary, birthday anniversary for our country. Got that? Here's you. And for Maureen and Rick also. Rick, I'll give this to you in a minute.
Sure.
But this is, the dates and times, for the rest of the year, for all the events that we are having, because we have quite a few. And I just wanted to give you a heads up on this. Of course, we have our resources, online, Facebook, what's happening in Snow Hill, et cetera, a website, and where you can contact and take a look at all the events. And if you have any questions, please call Rick or myself. are adjusted. Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.
Yes, I'll be in. This information.
Okay.